Taxes for your print-on-demand business can seem really scary. I know this is something that I worried about a lot when I first got started, but it actually can be very simple. So I'm going to make this video to give you a quick look into how you can prepare for your taxes to make it feel simple and easy. Now, disclaimer, I am not a tax professional, so after watching this video, I would recommend talking with a CPA or a tax professional to make sure that you have all of the best information for your very own business, especially because I live in the United States, so this may not apply at all depending on exactly where you live. So let's start with the basics. When you're selling print on demand with Etsy and Printify, then in most cases, Etsy actually handles all of the sales tax for you. So they take all the sales tax that the customer paid and pays it to the state for you. So when I'm talking about taxes in this video, I'm only talking about income taxes on the amount of money that you make with your business. Because Etsy does not take out any of the income taxes for you. You are the one that needs to report these and pay these. Etsy will send you a 1099-K form at the beginning of the year. You should already have it right now if you're watching this in 2023 when I release it. But it's important to understand what this document actually includes. The number on your 1099-K form is the total amount that customers paid to you throughout the year. This does not take away any refunds or cancellations that you had, any Etsy fees, or any of your other expenses. So you need to figure out what all of your expenses were for the year for your business so you can write these off on your taxes. And then you actually only pay the income tax on the amount of total profit that you made on your business after all of the expenses, not the total revenue. Now again, I'm not a tax professional, but I'm going to give you a list of different things that you may be able to write off on your taxes. So these are some of the things that I would prepare while getting ready for a meeting with your CPA or tax professional. And they can tell you exactly what you can write off and make sure that it makes the most sense for your situation. First of all, like I mentioned, the 1099-K form is going to include all money received, even money that you ended up refunding to your customers. So you can track this monthly, how many refunds that you gave, or if you didn't track this and you're filing for last year, you can go into your monthly statements and download the CSV file and actually sort them by refunds and tally them up for the whole year. Now, my total for refunds really ended up being the difference between what my 1099-K form said and what my total revenue on my stats page said I made for the year. So yours likely will be very similar, but you do want to make sure that you double check this. So take a few minutes to figure out how many refunds that you actually gave for the year and write those down so you can take that off of your total revenue for the year. Second, you can write off your total expenses for all of your items. So again, if you sell print on demand with Printify like I do, you get to write off the full amount of what you paid for the actual products plus shipping. So you can get this amount again monthly from Printify. If you go to the summary invoices page, you can see exactly how much you paid to Printify each and every month for your total product costs. And typically, if you have Printify Premium, this will also show up on their invoices as well. So if you are paying for that monthly, that is normally included. But if you haven't used Printify Premium yet, I do actually have a code for you down in the description for 1 month of free Printify Premium. It's my first name, Cassie, in all capitals, and the number 30 if you haven't gotten that free month yet, which saves you about $30. I like to make this easier for myself and track this every single month on an Excel spreadsheet. That way at the end of the year for tax time, it's super simple. You can also use a product like QuickBooks to track this though as well. You can also write off anything else that you purchase for your store. So these are going to be things like mock-ups that you use for your print-on-demand business, which are the photos that you download to your computer as a digital download and put your designs on to make it look like your products are actually made. So the cost of those, you can write them off. The cost of any subscriptions you needed for your business. So that could be like your subscription to Canva, the design service. If you use a research tool like Everbee, you want to track all of those types of expenses because again, you get to write those off on your taxes as well. You can also write off any education. So if you pay for YouTube Premium to watch my content without any ads, that's something that you could include. If you've purchased any courses, if you purchased my income and expense report or my print-on-demand calendar with all of the different niches you can sell throughout the year, these are all things you want to track and include for your taxes because likely, again, they all can be write-offs, but again, make sure to check with your CPA. You can also write off all of the fees that you paid to Etsy for selling on their platform, as well as any advertising fees if you paid to run ads on Etsy or any other platforms. Now, this one does really depend on where you live and how much you make, if this makes sense for your business or not, but some CPAs will help you write off a portion of your total home bills every year as a portion of your home office. So make sure to talk to your CPA and see if that's an option for you. You typically can write off anything that you needed for your business. So if you bought a new computer, if you bought a new laptop, a new mouse, anything along those lines typically can be written off as well, especially your phone and your internet bills. And then lastly, you can write off things like mileage if you needed to, say, drive to the post office for any reason, to reship something to a customer for some reason, then that could be included as well. So just make sure to track all of these things just in case. Depending on where you live and how much you made, you may need to start paying quarterly taxes next year for your print-on-demand business. This is what I have to do for where I live, and I have to pay 1/4 of what I owed last year in taxes each quarter. This is called your estimated taxes because they ideally don't want you not paying any taxes until the very end of the year, and so they have you estimate how much you're going to make based on how much you owed last year and have you pay that in advance each quarter. So this is just something to expect that it may come up for you, but again, it depends on where you live. But either way, it's a really good idea to start setting aside a portion of what you make in profit every single month to prepare for paying these quarterly or yearly taxes. That way it doesn't sneak up on you and you already have a really good idea of how much money you actually get to keep from your business. Again, how much you need to set aside can really change depending on where you live and how much that you make. So make sure to talk to your CPA about how much you should be setting aside every month for your taxes. And sorry if my little kitty is being distracting there in the corner. His name is Jack. I don't think that I've really introduced him yet. So if you got a little sneak peek down here in the corner of my little kitty, then say hello to Jack down in the comments. Now, if you're going to file your taxes for last year and you didn't track any of this monthly, I know that can feel really overwhelming. So I would again recommend tracking this somewhere, whether it be QuickBooks or your own Excel spreadsheet. But I do sell my Excel document that I built for myself and my business down in the description for only $20. And I'll walk you through what that looks like right now because it really has made running my business feel a lot simpler and smoother. And now I know exactly how much profit I make every single month, so it'll give you a better heads up of if you're pricing your items correctly or not right away, so you don't have any nasty surprises at the end of the year that you were only making $2 or $3 per item after all the fees, and you thought it was actually more. So let's jump into my income and expense report and I'll show you exactly how it works. So here is my income and expense report. This is the dashboard and it's empty right now because this is a blank document for you to actually download, but this will all be filled out once you fill out the rest of the year. I also have a built-in profit calculator so you can see how much profit you're actually making per item when you're selling them at different price points. So for instance, if you sell your item at $19.99 and your cost for that item is $12.87, after all of the Etsy fees, you'd make an average profit of $4.77. This is also super easy to update if any of these fees change, since sometimes the Etsy fees change over time. You can just click into this price table here and edit those if those are ever updated in the future. I also have a product calculator where you can enter in different information here, like your product price, if you're offering a discount, and again, you can break it down for all the different products, just like on the calculator, but all in one spot and see what your profit would be per item and try out different pricing methods. Then it has a year-to-date summary page. So here you'll see all the year-to-date information for each month. And then if you click on, say, January, it'll actually bring you right to that month. So here's where you would actually track your income and expenses. This is what you'd put in for your total revenue for the month. You can put in how many total sales you made for the month, and it'll actually tell you how much profit you made per sale. You'll enter your Etsy fees, how much you paid for advertising, design software. This one you can enter in custom, and then I have Printify as my option right here, but if you use someone else, you can change this. You would just need to update this on each page and the year-to-date page for the information. So you'd need to change this to Printify, to Printful, or whoever else you use, and so on, to make sure that it all matches up. And then there's 10 spots for additional expenses. So if you bought mock-ups that month, if you paid for Everbee that month, you can add those into here, and then it will add and subtract all of this for you and give you your total profit for the month after all expenses. So then at the end of the year, this will make it so much more simple for you to file your taxes. Now this document is only for the United States. I don't have it converted into any other currencies at this time, but if you can Google how to change a Google Sheets document to a different currency, it may be a simple fix. I just have never looked into that. And since I only ship to the United States, this does not include any additional fees like VAT fees if you sell in the UK. I'll link my income and expense report document for you down in the description. Again, it's only $20, but you are welcome to build your own version of this document or even track it on paper. But again, I really do recommend tracking this monthly to make it easier for yourself in the future. I really hope that this video was helpful for you and eased some of your fears with what taxes look like with a print-on-demand business. It really can be super simple, but again, I do recommend talking to a CPA to make sure that you have all the correct information for where you live. And as always, thank you so much for staying all the way until the end. If you did enjoy this video and get good value, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe, because I do release new content every single Tuesday, and I'll see you in the next one.